And that one's going like right here. So we're good with that.
No! Okay, bitch. Bitch, you're gonna listen. Gonna listen to me. Are you doing an outtake thing?
Oh, no, this is probably going to start it off.
Okay, me
It'll be this and an intro kind of thing.
Laura, bitch.
Mm-hmm. You yelling at Laura. Poor Miss Croft.
Bitch, do you not know how to hold a sword? Come on.
She usually has large guns.
Keyblade, get right.
Well, I know it's a keyblade. I'm the one who saw the keyblade and went, why does she have a keyblade?
Unknown Gamers.
We're Unknown Gamers. I'm Aaron, sometimes known as the Spicy Ginger. What? You have a problem with that? It's a nickname I earned. Giggle. A little bit of history, like background for gaming. I mean, I've been in it since NES days. That's why I've always kind of got a little bit of a hook into any of the old school looking games, even if they're brand new, but they look old school. That's usually a nice little bait for me, and I'll bite every time. Favorite games too. My usual go-to is that Chrono Trigger. I've beaten that thing, like 7 times? At
I've
least.
actually beaten and got every single ending on it.
Yeah.
I haven't played in forever, but I've in the past, probably 10 years ago was the last time I played it and beat it, and
Same.
awesome game.
Yep.
Probably one of my favorites.
It's always a go back to. Actually, my current favorite is Dragon Quest VIII, because that came on 3DS. I've been playing the shit out of that.
I honestly haven't played the Dragon Quest games since probably 7.
Oh,
I haven't.
Same.
I've bought a lot of them, but I've yet to really play a lot of them lately.
8's worth it. I love it. The story and everything, and they even added new characters, and I was really happy with that. They added in 2 people that were kind of important into the game, but they were never playable, so it was just the 4 people. But then they decided for the 3DS re-release, it's like, all right, we're going to add in 2 more playable characters. I don't know how it's going to work, because I'm afraid it'd be one of those kind of cop-out things where it's like you're 80% of the game, and then you can do a special thing, then get them added in. I don't know. I'm looking forward to doing that, though. Yeah, and you'll see a lot of stuff, for now, edited by me. But, yeah, it's not like I'm staking claim as notebook game guru, nothing like that. Just somebody involved.
Hey, you love video games. That's enough.
Yeah.
I'm basically the Flea. Everybody knows me that online, so I'm just going to go by that name for now. This is my game room. I've been collecting video games for well over 25 years. I used to collect video games by just going on my bicycle when I was like 16 years old and just buying them at garage sales and stuff like that all the time. And people back then used to look at me like I was crazy for picking up Atari, Nintendo, and because everybody at that time was like more into the Super Nintendo and Genesis by that time. It's like how people look at VHS tapes today. It's like, why the hell would you want those? You know? But nowadays, everybody loves this stuff, and now people look at me like I'm a gaming god collector or something like that. Kind of. You'll see his room tour one of these nights. And, you know, and I've just been collecting ever since. I've loved it ever since I was 7 years old, and my grandfather first got me my very first Atari, and I couldn't stop. I love the art. I love the history. I love everything about video games and stuff like that. And, you know, I don't know, well, I'm kind of an expert at the what's cool, collectible, art, history, that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of going to be that kind of person in this. You know, and so when people ask, like, well, what's this game? What should I play if I like this game or that game or stuff like that? I'm the one that be like, okay, well, you might like this game or that game. You know, that's the kind of thing I'm most known for. I mean, now in the collected community, I know tons of people that collect video games. And I'm going to take a pause a minute because Zeddy's chewing on shit, and I'm going to kill him.
Wants to be in the middle of everything.
That's Zed.
A little butt head. He's adorable and cute.
But like most cats, he's a butt.
I have a collection of pretty much everything video game from the 1970s up to present day. If he was able to turn his camera around. You'd be shocked at the amount of gaming consoles I'm looking at right now.
Yeah.
I honestly, I've played everything from the classics to the new stuff, so I know a little bit about every genre there is. And I've got such a backlog of games that I'm still trying to get to play a lot of the stuff. So I'm probably a fan of most every type of game, with the exception of sport titles. That's probably the only games that's hard for me to play.
I was about to say sports games. Like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I kind of stumbled over there. But like I said, I love this stuff. I know many other collectors in the community now, and I love that they have a big fan of it. Probably my only thing I don't like is a lot of the resellers out there that are trying to take advantage of us collectors and gamers. That's probably the one thing that irritates me the most now that it's popular.
Okay. I'm Brandy, also known as Brandolin. It's one of my main tag names. I've been playing video games since I think I was first introduced to it when I was between the ages of 1 and 5. I do not remember what it was. I just remember seeing my cousin playing the video game, and I really wanted to play it. He let me try it, and I fell in love with it. I don't remember why now, but I just remember like being like, oh, this is so cool, this is so interesting, I'm moving this character around, this is awesome. Begged for years for a game system, never got one until I think I stopped begging the year before I got a system, and it was a PlayStation 1. And the main reason why I got it was because my mom's kind of a gamer too, and she did more arcade games, and they had released a whole bunch of arcade games for the PlayStation 1. So she's like, I must buy this. So it was kind of like a mutual gift for me and for her, because she missed going out and playing them, because like I remember even when we went bowling, she would be doing that while I'd be bowling. Just like, here's me just bowling away. It's fine. But yeah, and then...
Hi, Zeddy.
Hi, Henny. And so for a while I was just playing
Got a new center of retention here.
nothing but arcade games until I was... Well, wait. Maybe it was about a year, because I got it when I think I was 12 when I got the PlayStation 1. And then a couple of my friends in a few of my friends in middle school introduced me to anime and to RPGs, role-playing games. So that kind of just started everything. Like, that's how I first got into Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 7 was my first one. Loved it. And ever since then, I've been kind of a sucker for anything Final Fantasy. That's my little bait thing. Oh, it's Final Fantasy! Or there's Final Fantasy characters in it. I'm like, just shut up and take my money. Just shut up and take my money. It's kind of how it is now. But I've been playing a little bit more of like online games. Like I know these are for console too. Well, Diablo 3. I've been kind of a little obsessed over that lately. And then I kind of play WoW, World of Warcraft, a little bit, not too much. I like the game, but I can't like tell you everything like a lot of my friends can. They could be like, oh, you need to go here, you need to do cat fight, you need to do this to get to here and go to this portal and take this ship. I don't even. I'm like, how do I get to this spot? I'm lost. But so yeah, I've been playing that and
Give your tag it. I'm sure there'll be 20 million guys coming out trying to help you out immediately.
Yep.
I remember. I'm like, one of my characters' names.
No, don't give it. Don't.
Yeah, trust me.
It's a goddess name. That's all I'm telling you, because I just got yelled at.
We don't need. I just see now. Damn it! You said my name on the thing. Now I got 20 guys chasing me.
Yep.
Yeah, that happened one time. I accidentally let it known that I was a girl.
Trust me, I've seen other happen to other girls. That's why I
There was
stopped.
one guy who kept like saying stuff, and I'm like, what the is wrong with this guy? And then another guy, he like charmed in and told him to shut up, and I'm like, thank you. I like you. That other guy, no.
I don't know why. I always thought when I heard that, like in real life for the first time, I just couldn't believe. I thought it was an honest to goodness joke. That I really did. I thought it was just a joke that like guys would do that, and it happened. I'm like, are you fucking shitting me? It's like we're playing a game.
Yeah.
Play the game.
I actually had, when Final Fantasy, I had two characters. One was a female. And when I played the female character, oh my god, I had idiots come up to me and say, I'll pay you to be my girlfriend. And they have no idea who's behind that
Mine is
character.
Final Fantasy Online, but yeah.
And it's like one of those things like, why are people doing this? Are you that desperate? I mean, again, this is a video game.
Well,
it's great for making friends. And I know people have met girls online and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's just sometimes the approach that guys will do, it's like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, you are socially inept.
You know?
Well,
It's-
for the
especially
Shy
when you're
Guys.
just on a video game, you don't know who's behind that character. You don't
Some are
know-
even shy. That's the scary thing. Some are like, you're like, hey girl, how you doing? Yeah, you sexy pics or get the fuck out. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
It's like, why don't you just tell me tits or get the fuck out? And well, guess what? I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah. That's what I mean. It's like not even the shy guys. The shy guys are whatever, but it's like these socially inept morons. It's like, and it's painful. It's like just
You know what's
just-
it's really painful when you're playing WoW and you're even when you're on either the Horde or the Alliance. Mind you, I'm on the Horde. Sorry, mostly Horde. I do have some Alliance. I do have some Alliance characters, but mainly I play on the Horde side. And I get very ticked off at people who are, it's like, okay, I'm just playing this game, trying to do this quest, wandering around, minding my own business, and all of a sudden this higher up character comes out of nowhere because they got the stealth, invisible thing going, and they keep killing me. Every time I have to keep going back to that spot because it's like, you have to go back to where you were, where you died, and keep playing. And I
And they'll
remembered who it
camp
was.
ya.
He just kept sitting there attacking me, and I'm like, really? So then one of my friends went on, and he started helping me and killing the other character because this guy killed me. I think it was like the 7th or 8th time I finally called up my friend. I was like, hey, you're playing well right now too. Can you please help me? Because this guy is not leaving me alone. I'm like, I've been doing this for like 20 minutes and I just keep dying and I'm getting sick of it.
I always call them bully gamers is what they are. They just go around just bully other players because they know they can.
Yep.
They don't. There's been a couple times I used to play online with Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption, and I was a high level character, and I saw somebody basically griefing another character just because he's lower level than him and just treating him like shit. I'm like, dude, that is wrong. And then so I'll come over there and kick his fucking ass, and then it goes the other guy's like, no shit. I said, dude, I helped you out. I don't care. I'm not gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
I don't like guys bullying other players like this. This is bullshit. It's one thing if you're like, for instance, Grand Theft Auto, sometimes you'll do bad things and you'll get like a bounty on you. There's a reason to go after that player. But when it comes to just like, hey, look, there's some player. Let's just spawn camp
Yeah,
him, and
so
so
they
that way
can
whenever he
get an
spawns in, we
achievement all
just
the time.
terrorize him.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
just stupid.
It's like I understand if there's an achievement you're trying to unlock, but it's like don't keep just going after one character. Go after a different player each time. Don't just ruin this one person's experience with the game because then that's kind of making you look like the bad guy. Plus, that's making that person not want to play the game anymore because they're like, why would I want to play a game that all I'm doing is dying?
Yep.
Hence the reason I really don't play Magic anymore because a couple of the people that tried to play with me just taught me, oh, I can kill you really fast because my deck is way better than yours. And I'm just like, I don't want to play now because I'm learning nothing other than you're a dick.
And you have a lot of money and too much time to spend on Magic. Yeah. You
Pay to
brought-
play games, pay to win games, I
Oh
should say,
my
are
God.
some of the worst, right? Especially with mobile stuff nowadays. And even it's starting to bleed into the consoles, which pisses me off.
Yeah, there is
That needs to stop.
Big time.
there is some PC games like what's it called? Warframe? I
Yep.
think it's called. Yeah. Actually my boyfriend's playing that right now and he's like completely addicted to it. But he has not put any money into it. That's what the really cool part is. He's put a lot of hours into it, yes, but by putting all those hours in, he's been able to get the higher up stuff and not have to spend as much. So he's gotten lucky with that, unlike I
Yeah.
know some people who have had to just put their money in because either the patience of it's just like I can't stand it anymore, or the fact that they're just like, just easy route.
Yep.
I always look at play. I think Grand Theft Auto is a good example where people who actually will spend tons of money. And don't get me wrong, Rockstar's making a shit ton of money and it keeps them keeping the game running because of
Right,
it.
it's fine.
But the bad thing about it is people get impatient and they just like, I just want to have it now. I want to buy it now. When I find out somebody actually took the time and earned the money to get these expensive items, I actually have more respect for them than somebody who just bought it.
Yep.
Right, and mind you, Dustin, he is if it's okay, I said his name. Are we fine with
It's
this?
just a
It's a first
I didn't
name.
Know. I didn't know, but anyways, he's been putting a lot of time and getting a lot of stuff for free. But he has stated, when it comes to a certain point, he is going to put money into it because he really likes the game and he wants to help the developers, earn more money so then they can, continue to make this game and
That's perfectly
other
fine.
projects.
Yeah.
which is good.
That's like buying skins in like Heroes of the Storm or League of Legends, something like that. Because it's not going to do anything for you. You get a pretty looking skin, but you're basically sort of directly and indirectly at the same time supporting the game because you're just wanting
I
to get the
agree,
skin out of it.
but there is also some companies that like to abuse that too.
Yeah.
Gears of
That
War 4
upsets
is
me.
one of them that's terrible about it right now. Like, for example, here's a good example. Like Final Fantasy, they get skins and stuff you can buy in it, but they're like 49 cents. Easy enough. And
Yeah.
it's like, that's nothing. Okay, I want that skin for 49 cents. Not a big deal. Gears of War wants $8 for a skin for your weapon.
No, thank you.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Yeah,
For a
it's
skin
like-
for your
So
weapon?
stupid.
That is insane. If it was $1 a piece, okay, I can live with that. $8, and there's even packs you can buy that's like $10, and it's random what you'll get. You
That is
don't know if you'll
really
even
annoying.
get the item you want.
Hate those kind of things because if I want to get something like okay, Overwatch, I know you can buy boxes in that one, loot boxes. I hate that because to me sometimes I just see like 2 or 3 skins. It's like I just want those 2 or 3 skins. That's it. You $2 or $3 per skin or $1 per box. Do it something like that. Because
Honestly, what they need to do is have in-game currency to buy it. Now, maybe more expensive with in-game currency.
Right.
Yep.
Like you might have to have 8,000 credits or something like that to buy it, or you could spend $5 to buy it with real money. If you're lazy, you could buy it with real money, or you can earn it and play like about 20 or 30 rounds or whatever it takes to get the amount of money and earn it yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that way, not only players who don't want to spend the money can get it, but also players that just are lazy and just go, well, I just want it right now, and they can spend the $5 and get it themselves.
Right, and-
Because they don't know if they can earn it or whatever.
right.
And that's one thing with World of Warcraft. If you get so much gold, you can actually pay for a month's membership instead of having to pay like $15 a month or 13.
Sounds about right. I
13 or
forgot
15,
about
I
that.
forgot. But yeah, it's like you spend like what was it over 500,000 gold
It's
or
up
something like
there.
that. It's pretty high. I don't know. I haven't achieved that amount yet. I only hit what 20.
But I think if you're a max level kind of person to enter your kind of raid stuff like that,
Yeah,
I've
there's
heard it's
certain
not
raids
impossible.
that there's like old raids that you can go back to and you can fight them just with one person. And before you used to have like what was it like 10 to 20 people in order to fight these specific raids in order to get the money and all that. But now it's 1 to 2 people. You're good.
Yep.
Just kill everything and then collect everything and sell it real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not too bad.
No, not really.
I remember getting back to when we were talking about like griefing griefers kind of thing. You brought up GTA Online. I would always remember the kind of people they'd get out the I can't remember what they called now, but the armored SUVs that had the like
The Insurgents.
that's it. Yeah.
Well,
And
what was the one's called? Because it was the Insurgents, but it had a gun on top.
yeah,
of it that
that's
you,
the one.
Yeah,
It's the call-in one.
I can't remember. I think it's still called the Insurgents.
It's
or
still an
called-
Insurgent.
It's
and
basically
something-
Insurgents, but it's got a Gatling gun at the
Yeah.
top. Yes.
I always laughed at that one because I was driving around in the Kurama. And the Kurama, I always liked a little bit because while it wasn't explosive proof like the Insurgent, it had smaller windows.
Yeah.
So with their gun, it's harder to shoot me. I just use an automatic pistol, get them behind me, just lean back, there's a driver, there's a turret. It's like, that'd be it. Get in their vehicle, drive into the lake. Like, all right, guys, it's only cost me $200. Like, and I had fun costing you $200. You're welcome.
$100 is nothing in that game.
Oh, I know.
Honestly.
You get to a point like the only time it's that is like you brought up people who kind of earn their money in order to buy stuff. I'm that kind of guy, especially
Yeah,
now. It's
same here.
everything in there is like lovingly mine. It's like this is my car. It's like I love to take her for a little drive, and I'll do stupid stuff like that. But because it's like I had to do so many heists and stuff like that in order to get the millions of dollars. Oh god.
Hey, I actually played Grand Theft Auto enough to actually buy a yacht without buying a single shark card.
God, that is one of my goals, but like the most expensive one.
Honestly, it's kind of a waste of money, to be honest with you. It's a fun thing to have, but it's kind of a waste of money in the game because really it's just someplace to go to. It's like, yeah, you get a free helicopter. You can go over there once in a while to pick up. To be honest with you, unless you just want to hang out with a bunch of buddies over there, that's about all it's good for.
Yeah, I hate how they didn't make it an internal thing to go down. You know, they made it for the CEO thing, where you can get your own building and you can drink and you can.
Well, the
set up stuff
CEO
like that.
actually has a purpose. You can actually make money off that.
Right.
The yacht doesn't.
Right.
So-
it's just I have a super yacht.
It's just pretty.
It's
It
pretty much it.
kinda
It's
is.
more of one of those things that's a bragging point. Hey, I got a yacht.
the only reason I ever heard it was a good idea to do it if you do a lot of the CEO, people trying to take out the CEO thing. So then you just sit on the yacht because that's got, I want to say, natural anti-air.
Yes, you
Yeah.
can turn on so nothing can get near you and it'll start shooting at it.
Yeah, so all you gotta do is worry about snipers, but then you just hide back.
They still can get on your boat though, they swim to it and stuff like that, but they can't get on it with any aircraft.
Right. That's why usually a lot of people will just put down like just some C4 and just kind of wait back, like, oh, I see somebody, click. Yeah. I don't know. That is the kind of thing where that's also a bit of a problem when we brought up pay to win. Griefers are more than likely to be pay to win people.
Oh, of course.
I mean, because then there's like, I have this, I'm going to hoard it over you because I'm better. It's like,
The only other thing that's worse than them are the hackers who, cheat to get money. That's the second worst.
hackers.
If I'd probably say that's the only thing I'd probably say above the people that are above the win. 'Cause trust me, there's those two that just cheat their way to get money too.
GTA Online kind of people. I've
At
seen
least
that.
Rockstar's not making money off them, and they're cheating off it.
Yeah.
So shoot, like I said, that was the only other thing I'd probably say is the problem.
Yeah. I kind of like they at least had some sort of a system where if you were basically not a bad player, but a bad sport, I think they called it, then you would only be allowed to be in
They
service
put the
with other
dunce
bad
cat
sports.
on you, and you put in the
Yeah,
certain
so
rooms,
you
yeah.
can only play with other people.
Nowadays, you've got a bar on you that goes up, and the higher it gets, you become red on the map. It warns other players that there's a aggressive player in the area, and if you kill them, you actually get better money and experience off them.
Well, that's
It
good.
basically puts a target on your back by doing that.
Right.
So if you become a griefer, that's what will happen to you.
Bad.
As for cheaters, now Rockstar's pretty good about trying to hunt them down, but not all of them get caught.
No.
And some are smart about it, and that's how they get away with it, especially if they get it and just spend the money immediately, and it's harder for them to find them and shit like that.
Yeah.
Now, there are other things that people do as far as, like, little glitches that, like, for instance, there's some glitches I don't care about. Like, for instance, the cosmetic stuff. Like, there's glitches in the game where you can put, like, sunglasses on a mask or something like that. That's harmless.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't think even Rockstar should
That's
care.
kind of like in the game.
But if you're doing something like, for instance, there for a while, people were glitching so they could put on a bulletproof mask and a bulletproof helmet, because you originally could only have one or the other, but they glitched so they could put both on. Now you have an advantage, and they fixed it since then. You can't do that anymore. But again, I understand why that was removed, because now you have an advantage.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Those kind of things where it's tricky because, like, to me, some hacks are perfectly okay. It's not going to be a big deal.
Well, for instance, like a lot of people make a big deal, like, okay, like, let's say you use a mod so you can play on GTA Online, so you see your character as Batman. Who cares? As
Yeah.
long as nobody else sees it, who cares?
Yep.
Because you can put hacks on it where my character looks like Batman, Superman, the Hulk, or whatever. Especially on PC, I hear this is very common. And sometimes they'll even still get caught by the publishers and get
They get
taken
banned.
off.
Yeah.
They're banned. And I'm like, well, they're not cheating. They're basically, it's just
No, it's just a costume.
it's a costume
not
that
like
only
they're
they
getting
can
him-
see, and
Yeah.
it doesn't hurt, so they have an advantage towards other players.
Yeah.
I don't care about that.
Yeah, that's
that
what-
doesn't hurt me in any way,
Looks
and I
is
don't
nothing.
care.
It's when you're making yourself
Now, if you-
stronger in a certain way.
Now, if you put yourself in the game and all of a sudden you're invincible and nothing can hurt you, that's a problem.
Oh yeah.
Aim bots, stuff like that. Where
Exactly.
basically
Stuff. Also, you
gonna
can
win.
fly and teleport anywhere you want. That's a problem.
That's kind of a problem.
That's a
too, yeah.
cheat. That's something that makes you have an advantage and griefs other players.
Yeah.
That's a problem. And
That-
those are the people that should be hammer ban on immediately when they do stuff like that.
Yeah. Those are the ones I think where it's kind of like literally there's a line over here's mods where it's like being Batman, being maybe not the Hulk because you can do like super jumps and stuff like that. But if it's a cosmetic only thing, no big deal. Over here, it's just flat out hack. This is you're now infinite health, infinite ammo. You hit the button and everyone blows up.
Yeah.
I've been because those ones are
That's
suck.
fun,
The ones
but-
I've been hit with, everyone blows up on the server. And it's like, because you see all of a sudden 20 people die. It's like, well, I wonder if there's a hacker in the server.
Too obvious.
You get the ones where you'll see them literally teleporting around. It's like, gee, I wonder if you're laggy or if you're teleporting. And you'll see them standing on top of a bridge. You're teleporting. The one I always absolutely hate is stuff that's like they're invincible. But I love it because
course.
I'm usually recording that kind of stuff. It's like, here's your name. Here's me shooting you in the face 5 times with a shotgun.
And
You're not
nothing's
going
happening.
down. Here you go, Rockstar.
Yeah.
The ones I'd laugh at is there was one, I was just driving around, and then all of a sudden I turned to, I think it was a couch. I just turned to a couch, driving behind a car, and then money bags kept popping up from my car. I'm like, what the hell is that? And I go back like, oh shit, it's like $100,000 each one. Ding, 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 ding.
Gotta watch out for that, because Rockstar has a thing where auto bans if you get too much money too fast, and people did that on purpose just to get a lot of people banned, and then they got to go through Rockstar to try to get their accounts back.
Right.
And it wasn't their fault. It was some hacker basically. Here's $2 billion just dropped on top of you,
Yep.
and you all of a sudden got $2 billion, and all of a sudden their system that basically looks for cheaters instantly bans you, and you can't get on anymore. So you have to go through Rockstar and go, hey, my account got banned. You got to go through all this trouble to get your account back.
Yep.
And you'll usually look into it and see that, yes, some other guy did it, and you'll get your account back.
But it takes time.
But the problem is, it may take like up to a few days for it to, get resolved, because usually they'll be like, well, we got to investigate it first to see what's going on. And by the time they investigate it and find out, they're like, okay, yeah, you got griefed.
Yeah.
Here's your account back. We just turned back time, so everything's back to normal. But still, it's an inconvenience to that player while that's all going down.
Yeah. That's why I kind of get in the habit of pretty much when I go online, I start recording.
Nowadays with console, at least the console, PS4 and Xbox One, you can instantly record anything.
Yeah,
that
you can do
happens.
that too. Just hit the share button.
That's all you got to do if that happens to you on the
Yep.
consoles.
Yeah.
But see, I don't play PC. I'm not a PC guy. So when you guys talk about World of Warcraft and stuff on the PC, that's like out of my league. That's like that's your world. I'm more of a console handheld collector.
Right. Because, I mean, it also kind of helps if whenever something's not even being a problem with hacks, it's more or less there's an exploit or something like that. Like, what was it? There was, I want to say it's Heroes of the Storm. They recently changed a character because it seemed like you could exploit something off them. And I don't remember what. First thing that pops in my head is Cho'Gall.
Now the
They
thing is with
redid a lot of
exploits,
Yeah.
I can understand them if something comes up that the game progress. Okay, we'll patch it in an update.
Yeah.
But that's not something I think is a bannable offense, just because
just
it's
because
something
you're
of a
using something
mistake
in
that
the game.
it's in the game. It's an
Yeah.
exploit. I agree. I don't think it should be something bannable. It should be just something like, oh shoot, when the developer finds out about this, let's fix this immediately or something.
Yeah.
Because to me, that's not really something that's worth banning. Because that's basically they're using the game's the mechanics of the game, but they're exploiting something that the mechanics was in the game.
Right.
And it's not really their fault. They just found a way to make it easier for them.
That's usually picked up pretty quick too, because especially with ranked play and stuff like that, where a lot of people will instantly ban this one character, and a lot of people, the developers, see that because it all gets recorded on their end. Like, why is this person and Here's the Storm, a character named Tassadar? He's basically one of the best supports in the game. He can give you a shield that basically says my health won't go down till the shield health goes down. In the meantime, every time I do damage to you, I get health back. So I'm restoring my own health. You're not hurting my own health. He's got his basic attack where it's just like everyone's got, it's a laser beam. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but slows you while it's on you. He can put down this pool or just does damage. The longer you're on it, the more damage it does. Doesn't last very long, but still. And then his third ability is he goes invisible and he moves faster. So he's really good as a support because to pin him down is hard because he can move faster and turn invisible like that. He can put a shield on himself and or any one of his allies, and they can start getting their health back. He can make it so like a big AoE or area of effect where this is just pain right here. So a lot of times you'll see Tassadar instant ban. And that's just because right now he needs to be tweaked number-wise. But let's say they start seeing a different character out of the blue start being banned. They may start asking the community, why is this character being banned? Well, if you team him up with her, then they're pretty much invincible couple. And they combo and they can just run up and down and just mow everyone down without even any effort put into it at all. Then they go, okay, so we need to remake that. We need to adjust this, or this character can't be allowed to do that, and they'll stop that invincible combo.
Again, that's just something that should be not bannable. It should be something that needs to be patched and fixed immediately by the programmers.
Well, no, they just simply allow for what I mean banning is basically they can't pick that character because they have like 50 characters from seeing because they're doing the college esports thing right now. They have like a big thing going on right now for at least Heroes of the Storm. Where instantly every team picks like so many, but the first things they pick are this team picks 2, that team picks 2. Those characters instantly off the table. They cannot be picked by either team at all. So then simply like, okay, they can do it one of two ways. They can go, that guy right there, he's really good at this one character. If we let him play the character, we're done. in the story. They will walk over because he will lead the charge. So let's ban that one. And this character right over here, they're borderline broken. So we're gonna X them out too. So, but that's where we kind of see where it's like where the developer will kind of hopefully kind of wake up like, oh, we need to change that. When I got on this morning, I checked out Steam. There's 2 games that just make me go, literally, what the fuck?
There's tons on Steam. WTF?
Well, there was one immediately. I put my hands just on my face and just
Double
went by.
face palm?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Just the title alone, Bloody Boobs. Bloody Boobs.
That sounds very painful.
Okay. The whole premise, and it sounds a little bit like I want to say Left 4 Dead, but that's not right. Dead by Daylight or Dawnlight, I think I was thinking of. It's basically like 4 people playing normal humans. They're trying to basically escape. One person playing a monster. And the 4 humans, of course, large-chested women, all scantily clothed.
Of course.
And and the whole thing is from scene is just like there's an actual video like they're trying to be.
They even make game towards women, right?
Oh, you know it. Oh, you know it. They even just like right there. You have to protect those tight, nearly naked bodies. It's like, oh my god, stop, just stop, please. Like I'm not kidding, Brad. If you want to look.
So they're like succubuses, basically. That's what you're describing.
Oh, but they're humans.
But they're human succubuses, basically.
Kind of, but they have to escape from the monster because the monster's trying to kill them.
Okay.
Yeah. And of course, they just run around it's like pretty much strips of duct tape.
Okay.
Yeah. The moment I saw that's like the days of what the fuck games kind of stuff will never end.
Dude, you're talking to a guy who actually was watching a video recently of another YouTuber, and he was playing a game where you actually played a character who could turn to any object he wanted to, and of course he turned to like women's underwear and women's stocking, and it's a Japanese hentai kind of game, and it's like literally one of those games you just watch and go, who thought of this?
Yep, someone sat
Who
down.
sat there? It was like
it up.
this is a thing. I'm sure this is probably a thing
what
somewhere.
What can we do that some people would like? They're more of like trying to aim for the type of people who like that sort of thing, or people who are just kind of like, I can't believe this exists. I have to play this for myself, and then they go, what the fuck is this?
Look, I'm one who loves WTF games from Japan. Oh god, especially if it comes on a console or handheld. But I stay out of the PC stuff. And there's some really effed up stuff in the PC world that I won't touch with a 10-foot pole. There are a few games I could name, but I won't, just because I don't want to give them any publicity, that I literally look at and go, that is just wrong.
Like the games you guys were making me play the other day?
Oh, those are innocent. Those are innocent.
Oh, just, no.
Okay.
Off camera, I'll tell you about some of them, but I don't want to give them any publicity and give them any people. I don't want anybody to look up and download any of them.
Yeah.
That's how bad they are.
I do remember one. I don't remember the title. And Mandy actually told me about this one. It's a visual novel style. And the whole thing is basically a guy got a blow to the head. He had a bad accident. It was like a car accident, something like that. And from there on out, the entire world looks just basically monstrous and hellish, and just like stuff is dripping from ceilings and walls, and every human looks like a monster, an absolute freak of nature, like multiple eyeballs, and they're the size of a fist, and you know, they're drooling, giant fangs, and he has to know that if I react like, oh my god, you look something Cthulhian, then he's going to be like, you're crazy. We're sending you to the nut house. But there's one girl, perfectly normal. And that's kind of the whole thing. She is 100% normal.
Are you sure this isn't an anime?
No. This is a game. This was a visual novel.
Sounds very familiar to me.
I wouldn't doubt they put it into an anime because it has certain H level stuff.
Hentai?
Yes, a little bit of that.
Just say it. He said it.
Well, no.
Anybody who knows about it knows that it's a big thing in Japan. Their tentacle porn and everything.
Yeah, pretty much when you say visual novel, it's almost included.
That.
No, I'm not saying, but they're into weird stuff like that.
Vast majority, if you put all in one long list, every visual novel game, a vast majority is going to be just porn. Because it's easy way. It's just like, oh, let's just draw some boobs here and some da-da-da-da-da. And they just have someone.
Sells, hey.
Yeah, I'm not against it.
I'm not against it for a certain extent. Like I said, trust me, I've got some weird stuff in my collection that's like,
I know.
you know.
This, like, oh, good God.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Dark corner.
But again, it has to be released on a console or handheld. That's my rules. I don't collect PC.
Yeah.
So if it was released on a console, then I'm like, yeah, well,
What
that
happens
looks.
if it is a PC game, but it's actually you can actually buy the game,
I still don't collect
You
it. I
still
don't collect
don't, even if
PC.
it's-
I don't collect PC.
even if it's like here's a hard copy right here. You just have to download it to your computer. Still no.
Somebody sent me one. I'd be like, thanks. You want it?
Yeah, I'd be like, what is this?
I'm a
Honestly,
sucker for that stuff too, because I'm honestly getting to the point on my Steam library alone. Oh, good God, I'm always like, just don't look at it. It's like over 800 games on Steam library alone.
I know.
Well, my thing is, I got into the middle of bundle sites and stuff like that, like Indie Royale and stuff like that. And you get these little shit games, and it's like, here you go, $2 or $3, and you get like
For
6
free.
games.
Or for
Yeah, some are for free.
Some are for free. What was the other one that you wanted to ask us about?
It was actually kind of interesting. It's Game Freak, so like the Pokemon people.
Yeah.
They're making a game. It's called something Breaker, I want to say. Basically, it's like a 2D platformer, and the whole thing is it's sort of a Metroidvania style, kind of, sort of. Your character, her ability is she can control debris. It's just junk, basically, and you have to solve how to get to the end of the level. And you can do things like you're missing an arm, so like that arm becomes like a sword, or it becomes a giant cube, so you can stand on that, and you can use that to weigh down lifts and things like that. It's just kind of weird.
So is it
That's
like a
cool, but it
puzzle
doesn't really
game?
sound like a WTF game to me yet.
Well, I just like it.
Unless there's something in it that makes you go, what the?
Well, I mean, the fact
So
that
far it's like-
a lot of people think like it's Game Freak. It's like, wait, these are the thing I was going to is it's not Pokemon,
Yeah.
and that's the problem. A lot of developers kind of get this thing. It's like, oh, we're Game Freak. We make a nonstop Pokemon. We made this too. It's like, did you stamp your name on it? Did somebody else develop it? No, you just go, okay, we got it. Or did you literally develop it? And even sometimes they have to defend themselves. It's like, no, we actually made it. Yeah, it's our game. I don't know. It's little things like that, but
My first reaction is yes. If you find something weird on PC Steam that you want to do, I don't care. You can put it on there. That's my opinion. I mean, my personal opinion is if anybody's watching, let's put in the comments below also and some weird games that they want to see suggestions of. So we'll be happy to take suggestions. Because sometimes I'm even looking around and go, what do I even do? There's so many odd games out there. So if anybody has any suggestions, you're welcome to put it in the comments.
yep. And we'll make Mandy play all the dirty ones.
You mean you make Brandy play all the dirty ones? You just said Mandy.
Well, no, because that's something she won't
Okay.
know because for a little while. Because we made you suffer enough. And then later on, it's like, oh, Mandy can't show up, so we'll bring you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
see.
She
make
more
both-
likes the
Yeah.
weird
So
Japanese side.
you'll
of-
make both of the redheads suffer with the weird.
Suffer with me.
Okay.
There's a lot of redheads on the show.
Yes.
We'll take over the world. I
We
mean,
will. I mean,
Hey, one of my brothers are redhead, so I'm on your side.
okay. Well, yeah. That's a good thing.
you'll be one of the spared ones.
Yes, you will be.
What was the other one? Well, you got one for 3 games picked up. Your pick, you're playing. Now, that I don't want to explain because the problem is anyone else who gets later on involved in the videos may see this.
You don't want me.
And Brandy knows about it, but the whole thing is it's supposed to be a surprise. So
The
that's why
object of the show is going to be more like they could pick a game, but it's got to be something they've never played. They have no idea what they're playing.
Well, Yeah.
You've never played that version.
Okay.
That's all I'll say.
yeah,
And
because you don't know what to
it's got to be a game that you have no experience with, and you basically can play and see yourself, your reaction. If it's you like it, do you think it's terrible? Make fun of it if you like. Whatever your reaction to the game is, that we want it to be honest. Because it'll be the first time you ever play it. You can make fun of it, say whatever you want about the game when you're playing it. Just have fun with it, most of all.
so basically natural reactions.
Pretty
to
much.
it.
And we'll be there, also there to egg you on and have you have fun with you and stuff like that. That'll be part of it.
Yep.
But, so it doesn't have to be basically... Other people, in my opinion, could see it and know what it is. But as long as they pick a game, it's something they never played and it interests them. It's like the game she picks interests her. But she does have no idea what she's going to be playing. She has no idea what she's in for. She has no idea if these are going to be good games, terrible games.
Well, slightly. It's like I've played that for a different console. This one I didn't even know
But this is a totally different
existed.
monster. It's nothing like the original.
Yeah, and then this one I've never played, but I've seen I wanted to buy this, but I didn't. I bought something else, and I was kicking myself because then I never found it again. So now I'm like, okay, I found it. Now I want to play it.
Exactly. And there might be also fans of certain people who watch the show and go, "Well, I like Brandy's opinion on stuff," so they want to see what your picks are, what the games that interest you and stuff like that, and give your opinion on that. Certain people who play might get a following and stuff like that. That's also a part of it.
Yep.
That's what we want. So when you're doing it, you might pick certain games that like Mandy will pick, and it'll be like totally opposite. She'll probably go pick mostly Japanese stuff because she loves the Japanese stuff.
I'll pick whatever looks cute or interesting or shiny or whatever. I don't know.
Or Final Fantasy related.
Well, yeah.
As long as it's something you haven't played. Like, for instance, if you pick Final Fantasy 7 on PlayStation, I'll be like, you already know what's coming on that. You're just going to be playing it to enjoy it. I mean, that could be another thing entirely if people want to see that. That's fine. If they just want to see Brandy playing Final Fantasy 7 and her reaction of replaying it again, that's great. If that's what people want to see, we'll do it. But we kind of more want to do stuff like we want you to experience something for the first time. That's kind of the idea of it.
Yeah. Because we literally want to see things that, like, people that just go, this actually exists. Like, wait, okay.
Not always. That's more of what WTF, but this is more of the thing of, like, for instance, like, Brandy had no idea that that certain game on the table here even existed. I don't want to show it yet. If you can kind of see on the table, maybe you'll know what it is, but you'll see a video of it sooner or later.
No.
Keep it down. Keep it down.
I will censor that.
But it's just one of those things of, that's kind of the fun of it. You have no idea what you're getting in on. I've heard some things. I have played it. I know a little bit about it, but I'm not telling you.
Well, yeah, I don't want to know. I mean,
That's kind of the fun of when you play it. You'll get to experience it. So that's what we want from that series. Then there's also the series of random, which is basically going to be totally a random generator of all my collection, and you will have to play whatever it is. The only exception to this rule, if it's something like a sport title like Madden 2000. There's so many of those sport titles that are going to be boring. Yeah, no offense.
If that's your game,
that's not
unless it has something
really
in it that's
thing.
entertaining or something that, because most of us that are game collectors are not big sport fans. That's
No offense.
kind of the thing. I collect them. I'm a video game collector, and honestly, I rarely play them. I put them in once just to make sure they work and get the idea how they work and everything like that. But I just don't get a big kick out of them.
Yeah.
To me, they're shelf fillers, and I hate to. Those who love sport, there's nothing wrong, but that's just not my thing.
right.
Yeah.
Like I personally like a storyline. That's why I like
totally
the
agree.
RPGs is because there's
I even like
a
games that have no
storyline to
story,
it.
but as long as it's something entertaining and enjoyable. I even like the bad games just because they're sometimes a good laugh to play.
Right.
Because they're just so, oh my god, I can't believe somebody actually created this and tried to sell it. You know,
Like
I
the
don't
games
mind
I've
those
played
quite so much.
recently.
I get still a kick out of those. Like I said, the ones I have the hardest time wanting to buy is sport titles. The only time I usually buy them is I find them at garage. Oh, $1.
Yeah.
Check them off the list. That's it. That's all they are to me.
Yeah.
So that's like the one game I just have no big. And if somebody tells you, oh, but Madden 2000 has this player and this player, and you can dot it. Great, that's great for you. Awesome. Collect them all. They're cheap. 99% of them are dirt cheap.
Yep.
So if you want to be a completed sport collector, good for you. But for me, it's just not. Like I said, those are probably going to be the one title we're going to skip over, unless they have something entertaining like Mario Golf or something that's got something unusual about it, like Mutant League Football or something like that. Those will be included because they got something entertaining about it more than here's another Madden game, here's another NFL 2K game, here's another. Those will be the only probably games that'll be skipped over.
I will guarantee we can cover Mutant Football League because the first time they kickstarted that one failed, and I know why, and I'll get to that in a second. But they kickstarted again, and it was a massive success. They made their funding within like 2 or 3 days. It was just like it exploded, and the reason why it's like I love they made a big deal about exploding is because you were actually.
Sorry.
Walked right in that one. The first time they tried to Kickstarter, and this is like a little bit of a tangent, I do apologize, but it's something that it always bugs me whenever I see this, because Kickstarter is like a big thing for games. And it's always a double-edged sword because Mighty Number 9. Did you ever hear about that one?
Yes, I own a copy of it.
You hear about that one? Mighty Number 9? Okay, it's supposed to be the spiritual successor to Mega Man.
Oh.
Yeah. And they showed footage of it, and it was supposed to have like high def kind of graphics, really great looking, and then they released, and it's just they followed through all the problems that they should have. They should know, like, okay, don't be difficult for the sake of being difficult. And some bosses were like that, and just it was not even really colorful. It was just bright. And I'm sad. I backed it in a big way. I backed to the point I got the gold skin, and getting that, I was like, that was the biggest waste of my money I've ever spent. When it came out, it's just like, this is just.
I didn't support that one because they didn't offer it with the consoles when they had the Kickstarter.
Right.
They didn't announce the console until after the Kickstarter. So that's why I didn't support. I don't support any Kickstarter that doesn't offer for the consoles or handhelds. That's just me. It's just how I am.
Right.
Because that's what I play. That's what I enjoy.
Yeah.
And so, like when Mega Man, when that first came out, Mighty Number 9, I was like interested. But then when I found out, like I said, it was only PC only. I was like, well, I'm not going to put my money into this because it's not going to be something I'll play. But then finally like I said, then they did release it. I actually pre-ordered the collector's edition for my Xbox One, and I played it. First level was really kind of cool. Then it kind of just started getting repetitive and like, okay, this is okay.
Yep.
And it just didn't pull me in anymore.
That was the problem. It was just okay. And they hyped it as like one of the great things, and they started wasting time, it felt like, because all of a sudden, what was the company's name? Like, because it can't be Capcom, but something like ComSoft.
I can go pick it up off the shelf and tell you.
Well, it doesn't even matter, but it's something like that. Because the guy came from Capcom, obviously, so they were like a little tip of the hat to that. But then all of a sudden they announced they were going to do an anime about it or something like that. It's like Red Ashes or something like that, I thought. And it was supposed to be similar style, and we're going to do this anime, and it's going to be not really about Mighty Number 9, but it's just like, what are you doing? We want Mighty Number 9. Don't be starting a new fucking project when you haven't even finished your first project.
No.
And it's been delayed. They delayed that thing, I think, 8 months at least. 6 to 8 months, I want to say. And it's just like, you're delaying your first project. And this is everyone is saying that because they backed it because they started feeling ripped off. You started one project, you haven't finished it, you're actually pushing back. Now you're saying, oh, we're starting a new project. And it just instantly hated. Everyone hated the company because...
I feel your pain.
Yeah. Did you back it?
No,
Okay, good.
no, it's
Lucky you.
another game where I've been like waiting for a long time for them to release it, and they're like, no, we're gonna do these other projects, and I'm like, why do this? I've been waiting forever for you to do this. Why aren't you doing this?
Yep.
And then they're like pushing it back months. Well, I think I've been waiting since I heard that they were really, really doing it. I think it's been a year they've been pushing it back at least, and then I found out more stuff about it, and I'm just like, you are torturing me. I really want to play it, and I'm really excited, and I know once it comes out and I play it, you're probably going to have me play it here for the first time just so we can record me playing it, and I'm probably going to cry a whole bunch of happy tears because I'd just be so happy that it's made, and I'll be so excited and happy, and I might become a hermit and live here and just play it.
You're the first one to
We'll
say
get
that.
you a sleeping bag right back there
No,
for you.
sleeping. Just give me caffeine.
Let's see, you're just like covered in grease, your hair's
No
all a
grease.
mess. You're just like, more caffeine.
No, just more of, I'll just be like caffeine hyper, or there she goes.
There she goes again.
I was hearing that in my head right there. I was like singing it.
Yeah, when we were filming here the other day, we had her play Final Fantasy 15 for the first time. We couldn't get her off it.
I should have been here earlier so I could play it because I didn't know that he was here.
I left you an opening.
I didn't know he was here, and I couldn't get a hold of him, so I was like, oh, I'll wait for Aaron.
You can. He's a friend of mine on Facebook. You're a friend of mine on Facebook.
You sent me
added
an
him.
invite. I'll
There
make
you
sure
go.
He hasn't
I'll
accepted
accept it.
yet. It's
Yep.
cool. I just ran on there randomly when I'm not friends with him yet, and I really need to talk to him. I've technically only met you before we started this, I think 2 or 3 times before. 2. I'm going to say 2, and...
I've met you more than that. 'Cause several times when Wyatt's done filming, I know I've bumped into you and
There
talked to you a
was-
bit. You just might
we
not
did
remember.
one... Okay, maybe 3 then, because I remember we did the music video, the teddy bear one, like, because Wyatt couldn't be there one day, so
Yeah.
you and I had to film for that. And then there was, yes, I do YouTube videos too, or music videos, I should say. And then what was the other one? The Retail Me Not or something like that.
Possibly.
And it was one of those, and then there was one more time for something else we had filmed, and I don't remember what it was now, and that was like the only 3 times.
Well, I didn't know you were a gamer until you started doing this project and stuff like that. So
Closet
That makes you
gamer,
cooler.
I guess. I recently bought some, it's the same thing, but one's a long sleeve and one's a sweater, and it has the Final Fantasy VII characters on it. I have that. And then I do have a Cloud shirt, and I do have a Rouge shirt that Wyatt actually gave me because he didn't wear it anymore. And I think, sadly, that's all my gaming clothing. Well, and then Aaron just gave me a couple of hats, so there's that too. Oh, I did actually make a shirt. I did silk screening for one of my classes in college, and I did 2 little Moogles, and they're like kind of kissing.
Oh, that's cute.
It's adorable.
cuteness overload.
Can't help myself. I do cuteness stuff. It just makes me happy. Yeah, that should be my.
I don't
next
think I've shown you the
project.
game that Mandy wants to play yet, but unfortunately I promised she'd have to play that one. I'll have to show it to you after the...
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking I should now make.
It's cuteness overload.
It probably is, and it's probably going to make me upset that I can't play it first. But I did do another project that was Final Fantasy related. High school, first time working with clay. I made, in Final Fantasy IX, how you save, it's that book, Moogle book.
Yes.
Well, I made the book, and for the pieces of paper, I made it into a drawer so you can pull it in and out. And inside, I put a little clay piece to make it look like the materia from Final Fantasy VII. And on top of the book, I did the seed symbol from Final Fantasy VIII. Yeah, and I did draw, what was it, Final Fantasy X-2. I think I just did Yuna. I did Yuna dressed up as a Moogle outfit. In her Moogle outfit.
Not Lightning?
No.
Good, I hate that bitch. Fucking hate 13 series.
Why?
They're
I
terrible!
didn't play it enough to say it.
Oh my god, don't.
I have them. I just haven't played them. I
Don't.
have time.
Don't.
They'll ruin the Final Fantasy
they
experience
do.
for you.
They do. They really
They're
do.
probably the weakest of all the Final Fantasy series. It really is. And those who are a fan of it, I apologize. But if you love it, that's great. But for me,
Final Fantasy.
I'm not apologizing. It's fucking
I
terrible.
I played the first one and just thought it was just... Some of the characters were kind of nice. The animation was cool. in
Okay,
it.
yeah, I'll give
Yes.
that to you. It looked
But
pretty and some were kind
The
of
gameplay
colorful.
was very dull. Like I always joke about, I can sit there with the controller just doing this, reading a book, going, "Oh, I just finished the battle." I mean, that's...
I have a funny story with the battle systems. Okay, so when I was playing Final Fantasy VII, this was, back, I think that might have been it was the first run, because I think I played that one like 7 or 8 times fully through, trying to see if there was any way I could, do something. I'm not going to say what, because there might be people out there who haven't played it, and I don't want to ruin the little story for it. But anyways, I walked away, I put the game on pause, and I could hear in the other room, like in the kitchen, mind you, it's like the kitchen, and there's like the dining room, the living room, and the parlor. Well, the parlor is where the game was set up, and I could hear my game playing, and I'm like, why do I hear the battle? I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I'm not even lying about this. This is the funny part, is I went down the stairs, I went up the stairs, and then I went down the stairs to sneak to look to see who the heck was playing it. So I'm like, who's playing it? My cat's playing it. I'm not even kidding. I look, I
Cats
see
playing video games, new show coming.
Well, we can't, because sadly he died of cancer. But,
Got Zeddy, he'll work.
I don't know
We'll
if that
teach
one.
him.
But no, I literally, I saw him putting his paw on the X and just watching it, and I could see his tail wagging back and forth, and I'm like, what the fuck? This cat's actually playing. And then he stopped.
He's playing Final Fantasy 13, right?
7. No, he was playing 7, and he was moving on the analog stick. Like, I saw him like batting at it. I was like, what is he doing? He's like kind of batting at it, and then all of a sudden the song come on, his ears will pop up, and he's like, oh.
I would have instantly, as quickly and as quiet as I could, ran to find a camera and immediately just be like,
Mind you, this was way before
That was
I
a
had
viral.
this.
Do you want to take a break? The doorbell just ran.
No, I want to finish the story.
I
real
don't know
quick.
why it might pick to get it. Okay.
That's fine, but no, like seriously, like that's. I couldn't believe it. My cat was seriously playing it, and at the time it was what 98 or something. I didn't have, we didn't have the smartphones. I didn't have a cell phone. We didn't have any recording device, and unfortunately the only camera we had was in the room next to him, so I couldn't sneak and get it to take a picture, but it was really cool.
well, to teach you how to animate,
Yes.
so you can draw it yourself. If you need to run by, you can run by, unless you're cool there.
Yeah. You
Cool
just
there?
gonna sit and watch.
Okay.
She's a watcher. Get it? Watch it.
Here, okay. Back to 13, because I know I pissed off some people by saying that, but it's like I don't care.
Most Final Fantasy diehards are in agreement.
Right, but there are
with
some
us,
people
so.
that like, oh no, it's good. It's like here's the two things. It's first that damn Gestalt system. Gestalt system. But you know what I'm talking about, how you get and you have to do that for certain people in order to advance the damn story. And I always hate that, so you can get the cool summons, but they'll turn the vehicles like, oh great, I'm gonna ride.
That was
Odin.
weird.
That was really stupid. It's like Odin is like this great and powerful god, but he turns so horsey.
Shiva was a motorcycle.
Oh my god! Who's the two-headed one? Who's the two-headed one?
Shiva.
Was it Shiva? She's two-headed.
Shiva, yeah.
She's
was two of her.
twins.
She was
Yeah.
twins, which
Oh
was,
my god.
Which was weird.
That was just fucking
I'm like,
no.
And then okay, wait. If you okay, it kind of disturbed me a little too, because I'm like, how is he sitting on that? Where are their heads?
Right?
Is this appropriate?
Right?
Is this appropriate? Are we okay with this? Okay, I guess everyone's okay.
Where's the
with
game?
that.
Where's the game? What's the age rating?
Yeah, I know. It was a little bit
Oh my
suggestive,
god.
but I'm like,
Well, that is the Japanese for you.
they put that a new limit, but here's my
that's
thing.
humans in general.
True,
Okay, it's
true.
not just the Japanese. It's everybody. We hide things here and there. It's not just
Right.
said.
True.
It's everyone. I even like am subtle with stuff, even though I'm thinking in the back of my head. But I'm not gonna tell you I'm thinking it. I'm thinking it.
But the difference is with us, most of us, unless the game is trying to be inappropriate and stuff like that, the American game, they're like, well, we make it, won't be funny, we put this like his head, her head where the seat is, haha. Well, we're not going to do that because that's inappropriate. The Japanese are like, we don't care.
Oh yeah, because it's just like it's like, well, either you ignore it or you get over it. I mean,
Yeah,
it's kind of
so-
like I just got over
But
it. I'm
that's
like,
just their
whatever.
form of
just
art.
playing.
So
Yeah.
Right.
they're just different culture, and that's how they don't perceive the same thing like we do. Some of the stuff is inappropriate. So
Right. I just kind of go meh.
Yeah.
It's like meh.
Get back to that, because it always bogged me. Like, here's one thing I'd always love to talk to an actual Japanese game developer. Have they never heard the term, if it ain't broke, don't fix it? Because that was that
well,
was
depending
bugging
on
me.
what company you're talking about, especially like
Well, I'm all for trying new things and experimenting. That's fine, but when you take something as a boss fight and it's like, oh, they don't have health now, they have this meter, and you have to do special things. You have to do the hokey pokey. You have to look up. You have to do a certain hand sign on the blue moon, and it has to be the Friday the 13th. And it's like, stop limiting me this way, because I'm not even fighting this thing. I'm playing this weird fucking Dance Dance Revolution thing where I have to do certain things at the right time, and if I mess up, you got to start all over. It's like, no, you want to do it that way, it's called a quick time event. Because at that point, that's what it felt like. It felt like the world's weirdest quick time event. It's like, you have to heal them, but then you have to poison them. So you have to make sure they stay poisoned, and they have to keep on healing, or something stupid like that. It's like, no.
first, I think quick time events need to be phased out.
Yeah, sometimes they kind of work.
They can work. It's like, for instance, when they first had them in Resident Evil 4, that's kind of one of the first games that started doing quick time events. It worked for that game, but it was only in it like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
It was like there's a certain boss fight, and then you do a quick time, and you hit like 3 buttons, and then you're back to the actual battle.
Yeah.
But there's some games that the entire boss fight is nothing but a quick time event.
God of War.
That's got to go. That needs to stop.
Though I did it was okay, the whole original God of War, when Ares, the fight between you and Ares, it was a tug of war. I thought this was kind of neat. You had the same health bar, and it's literally like a tug of war kind of thing. That was okay. It wasn't great, but it was okay. But yeah, that was the one thing. The Gestalt system. That and because it's
I love saying
Gestalt.
that.
Because every time I say Gestalt, I can't say Gestalt and not pause to say system because it's like Gestalt, and I want to say shish. It's like no shish. But every person that always defends it, they're always going back to this one fucking saying. It pisses me off. Just put up with the first 20 hours. Then it gets good. No!
Like watching a movie that's boring as shit, but then you finally get the end and go, oh, the ending was a great payoff.
Exactly. It's like, oh, no. Read this book. It's like 400 pages long. Just get to that first 300. Just get through that first. Then that last 100, oh, man, it just takes up. It's like, but you have to read that first one. It's like, no. Game down. No. That immediately, I made like 2-3 hours in, and somebody just said that, and I remember that's where immediately it's like, game down, hit the pause or hit the open disc button, took it out and put it back in the sleeve, and away it went. I was like, no, you do not ever get to say that ever in any fucking game. I don't care if it's like like Super Mario. If there's ever a game where someone just says, just put up the first 20 hours, then it gets good. Slap them, and hopefully sense will pop it and go, wow, that was a stupid thing to say. Nothing should ever be like that. Just literally put up with this for almost a day, 20 hours, then it gets good. It's like, no. I couldn't believe there's a vast majority of people that were like that. It's like, how can you do that? Makes no sense. You put up with crap.
The only thing I can really give 13 credit for is it was the first time they made the protagonist a female, and I liked that.
Yeah.
Wait, which part?
13. It was the first time they ever made the main protagonist a female.
No.
Lightning was the first. No, you might have talked about the main
10-2.
series.
6, kinda, but
6-2.
Main
6-2.
series, not off
6.
ones.
6.
She wasn't the main character though.
Tara, she was right from the word go.
Yeah.
And she was, remember, the half Esper, so
Okay.
Yeah,
she was about all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, technically, she was.
Tara's a badass too. If they want to make something like that, remake
her?
6
Or remake
and then just like, but 13 style. If they did 6 and split it up into 3 parts and did all Final Fantasy 13 animation, no Gestalt system, but that kind of just keep it Final Fantasy 6 with current graphics.
There you go. That's what you mean. Current
Perfect.
graphics, and there's actually talking in
Voiceovers
I like
too,
voiceovers
and cutscenes.
and cutscenes,
Yes.
definite. Well, they did have cutscenes in 6. It just wasn't like it is
It
now.
wasn't like anime style. It's in
no,
game.
because it was more of in-game graphics. It wasn't actual like, oh, here's your playing graphics, and oh look, here's a wonderful cutscene movie thing. It's
Pretty.
awesome. It's pretty. It's like that's me glued. Yeah.
Yeah.
And technically 7 was the first one to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was kind of disappointed, but I remember they were trying to make, I believe it was 8, they were going to try to do a voiceover for 8, and then they couldn't, and then they're like, okay, we're going to try it with 9, and then, I don't know why they didn't it with 9, but then 10 was the first one they did.
It's weird to say, is 9 good?
Well,
I couldn't get into 9.
That's what I heard that a lot of people kept saying. That's why it's like I love that because no, I'm not knocking. I just love whenever I ask that because I've never played 9. I always ask it's like, is 9 good? And I'm just like,
honestly, I think the first time you play it, it's kind of like, but when you play it, personally, when I played it the second time, I think I got a little bit more into it than I did the first time.
okay.
I don't even remember why now, but I just remember when I first played it, I was kind of like,
The only
and then
thing
I played it
that
again,
made
and I was
me
like, okay,
very
now I
memorable
like it.
about that game is Vivi's character. It was very memorable.
That's what I heard. Vivi
That was like the thing that almost sold me to keep playing it. But the rest of the characters, I mean, it was very stereotypical. She's a princess. She didn't like to be a princess. She wanted to escape, and then this bodyguard was with her, like, well, I must protect you, and I must stay with you, kind of thing.
Well, that was
And then,
kind of like
the
in
main character
7
was like a
where
monkey,
Cloud sits
weird thing. It was
Like,
kind of weird to it.
Zidane.
Yeah,
Zidane.
I couldn't even tell you his name, to be honest with you. That's
It's like
the game
Zidane or
full on me.
Zidane. I can't remember how you pronounce
And
it.
I don't know, it just never pulled me in. And I got something else came out, and I started playing that. And I never got back to it. It was one of those kind of games. Like 7 and 8 pulled me in.
Right, and a lot of people did not like 8
Yeah, a lot
because
of
it
people
was
didn't like 8
because
either.
it was too much of a love story.
Drama.
Get over it. Sorry, but I did.
I honestly liked
kinda-
8.
I
And when you hear the
liked
theories
that.
about that the whole thing is Squall's dead in the end, it even makes it more kind of interesting.
See, and that was something I didn't hear about until later.
I didn't hear about it until later too. When I looked at when I
Way
heard about
later.
that and looked back at the film, they're kind of right. It does kind of fit. So
Well, kinda, yeah. I mean, yeah, and there was one part where you really do think he was kind of a spoiler, I guess, for those who haven't played it. But I mean, at one point you really do think he's dead, but he's not. I'm not saying which part. Do you remember playing it? Do you know what part I'm talking about?
I am drawing a blank, but I have it on my computer, so if need be, I can always
Well, I
just
think you know where I'm talking about. I'm not saying where, but yeah. Oh.
I've got like 2 people in a second. You know what I'm talking
But
about?
it's not but they kind of
You
did
do.
that story
You know.
kind of almost identical. Not trying to give a spoiler, but they kind of did it with another Final Fantasy too. I'm not going to say it, so I won't spoil anything. You know what I'm talking about, right? With the whole.
Yep, I do. No, don't even.
I'm not
like,
gonna say the name,
anymore.
but I'm just saying they
don't
can't-
even say anymore because then you'll give it away too much.
I'm not, but I'm just saying. But you know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about, and it is very similar. But yet again, can't say it because then it gives it away. But yeah.
Mystic Quest, right?
That's not even a Final Fantasy game. Most people. It's just got Final Fantasy name slapped on it.
Yeah,
Here in America, anyway.
yeah. Because remember, they literally made that because people were bitching that's too hard. It's like, fine, here's an easy one.
Yeah, it was a baby's RPG over in Japan. They gave it to us. So
Yep.
they decided to put Final Fantasy's name on it.
It was kind of the one thing I never noticed until I saw, I don't know who it was, maybe it was like Peanut Butter Game or something like that. And it was, he showed that the person that you always get, because in Mystic Quest, it was just you, and then you eventually get like a partner. The partner was always a higher level than you. And he says, no matter what I tried, if I would grind as much as I could, they were always a higher level than me. And it's just like, huh, yeah, so if they actually program that in, then yeah, that is made to make it easier. I didn't realize that. Damn. I love when we're getting this weird tangents. We got me bitching about Final Fantasy 13. We brought that up somehow. And then, yeah, because we were talking about...
Bring up 13. I don't even remember now.
We were talking about that
Bad memory.
because we got onto Kickstarter, and I need to bring it back to Mutant Football League.
That's way too far. That's way too far back.
Well, I do want to bring that up, why they actually were a success this time. It's really because it's a stupid reason why. And I said this is why they're failing left and right. If you look at the first Kickstarter thing, and I always highly recommend everyone to look at the first Mutant Football League Kickstarter, there's nothing. There's jack all. They have artwork up there, and they were like partnering up kind of with another company that was going to make a 2D, almost side-scroll looking football game. And then immediately it was like, oh no, but it's not going to look like this. Don't worry. It's going to be more. It's like the moment you say it's not going to like that, people aren't going to imagine it because a lot of people are going to watch a video like, oh, so that's what the game's going to look like? That doesn't look so great. It's not, a lot of gore and stuff like that. Because if you know what Mutant League Football is, it's like ogres and skeletons and demonically possessed humans and spinning spiked lizard men, and they're playing football and they explode when they fumble and they literally go to parts. And you can do things like kill the ref as a special call, special play. And like the refs are even jokes. Like some ref's name, the one I'll never forget is I See Nothing. Like I.C. Nothing. And they come out, and they'll say, like, all right, I saw you did the last ref. I won't tolerate that here. But it's like, you get tired of that ref, kill him. And there's literally, all of a sudden, it's like, hike, and the entire team just goes and starts beating the shit out of the ref. And that was this great and hilarious thing. And, like, I don't want to say the arenas, the fields, football fields, there was one, it was pretty much made of rubber. So every time you'd land on it, it'd go, it would bounce forever. So if you try to do a punt, good luck. You do a 10-yard punt, that thing goes 60 yards because it go ding. It'd be a Super Bowl on crack. Second time they did the Kickstarter, they're showing stuff immediately. It's like, here's the stuff. You can actually kind of fight. You get damage numbers. There's blood. There's gore. It's monsters. There's voiceover. We still do the whole thing. Instead of being the Green Bay Packers, it's the Grim Bay Packers. Instead of the the Chicago Bears, it's the Midway Monsters. You know, and they make fun of that kind of stuff, but it's like this little tongue-in-cheek humor. But there's still like there's monsters going head to head, and after the game or after the play, you can still like I'm gonna punch this guy a little bit. Okay, ref didn't see anything. And immediately when they start showing gameplay footage and, oh, we've got this lined up and here's some concept of that, here's 3D modeling this, here's that, immediately people start backing. It's like, I wonder why. And I remember if I could find the footage, I always kept on saying, if they would show footage of what the game would really look like, people would back the game. You can't be like, here's this stuff I wrote down, it's going to be a really cool book. It's like, no, you need to show people. You need to have a history. You can't be like, I wrote a book for my high school class and I got an A+, and I did it. No. You need to be like, here's what's going to look like. Here's a work in progress of it. So here's what you're going to expect. Because Kickstarter and early access stuff like that, that's literally the risk you play is this is all you're going to get right here. This person can just take your money and literally run with it. And there's a lot of stories like that. And the weird thing is actually, I'm surprised they actually tried that. It's like, okay, we failed the first time. Let's try a year down the road. Let's try and get them back. And it actually worked. But they're not like robbing immediately. The moment you back the game, it's like, here you go, here's a Steam code. It's like, what's this? Oh, it's for a demo. We're running a contest. Whoever gets the highest score, take a picture of yourself with it. And we'll have you name, it's either you'll name a character or we'll name a character after you in the game. Permanently. And I was like, that's really cool. The game's not fully done yet. You're already running contests for stuff like that. And immediately, like, here's your game. There's like 3 or 4 teams you can play. It looks good already. I know, people that want to see things and play actual games. Weird. That's what they want to back.
It's so
I
obvious.
don't know. It's just stuff like that. People like. I think it's because Mighty Number 9 stuff like that. People get burned, but now they like the people, the developers, the companies that know about the companies that do the burning. They have to kind of go like an extra step. Like we know Mighty Number 9. What was the other one? There was. One is like an ant simulator or something like that. Literally
I heard that was a scam. The guy pretty much just took the money and ran.
I think he like spent on strippers or something like that.
Yeah.
I heard the whole story. I was like, oh boy, it was bad. So it's like you get these people that are like, oh yeah, here's a bunch of my money. Where'd you go? Hello, is there a game? I see you talking to that lady and you're going down the alley. Okay, never mind.
Aww.
It's like, I thought you'd fuck me before you fucked her. Okay.
Technically.
Oh, you already did. Okay.
Yeah, technically.
But yeah. What else we got? Oh, we got the scary games go bleep.
What
Go
you calling
bleep.
it?
We're not gonna.
Well, no, because I don't know why. I think it's been kind of funny to have like a little sound effect because it's like scary games go shit.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Plus you
see.
can fill the bleep in with whatever you want. Too.
Exactly, and the whole thing like a lot. It just seems immature right away. You see a title, it's like scary games go fuck. It's like, okay, no, scroll. So if you should just like use something funny with it instead, then some people will go with that. But yeah, we got some of that already. Resident Evil 7 stuff.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, I will say this. I do not like things just popping up out of nowhere and just, either trying to kill you or just flat out just scaring you.
Watch stuff all on the floor there.
I'm not into, I'm not into that. Neither is Anna. She's off camera. She's the one who actually has the virtual reality thing on her head. I can't personally do that. It makes me feel sick. I just can't. But yeah, things popping out at me I do not like. Even in person, if you try to pop up out of nowhere, I am going to hit you. So don't do that to me. Seriously, my first instinct is to hurt when people do that.
The ginger way. Hi there.
I don't
jumped out at me.
I don't think it's just gingers that do that. I don't think gingers can take full credit for that because I have known other people who are like that too and they're not gingers. So it's just that's how some people react. Either it's the fight or flight reaction. It's either you punch it or you run.
Yep.
Or you do both.
Or you punch then run.
Yeah, that's what
Then
I
you
would
turn back. Oh, they're down. Kick, 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 kick.
Or find an object and just start hitting them with it.
Use a little intellect. It's like, oh look, some big stick.
Just stab.
Well, maybe after we're done with the Resident Evil series, we'll do another game that's considered one of the scariest games ever made in history. Almost voted
Why would you
Elvis Tiny. Just for fun.
I'm trying to think because I've got a
I'd
fair
probably
share.
just scream and run. Be like, I'm done.
Yeah, I will say one thing. It's like we keep on getting Brandy or talk about my wife Anna. There will be other people playing those games too, so it's not like just a limited group. It's just like this is like the first videos we are gonna have.
We are the starters.
Yes, so that's like the whole purpose of this is like so you get to know us.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are gonna be a lot more other people involved. It's just sort of get them here and then get recording. That's about it. And we've got other things kind of lined up, so don't worry.
Pretty much everything we're doing is kind of an experiment to see what works, what doesn't, and it's just what we think might be funny and enjoyable to us. And if you guys enjoy it, great, we'll keep it up. If it turns out nobody cares and it's just kind of one of those things that just falls by the wayside, we'll replace it with something else.
Yeah.
Or tweak it in some way to make it more entertaining or something. We'll just kind of have to see how it works.
Yep.
I mean, this whole channel is pretty much an experiment to see what works and what doesn't. Hopefully this entertains you. Hopefully you enjoy it. And hopefully you enjoy it from a collector, gamer, and nonchalant. Maybe even though some people are nonchalant. I think everybody, at least both of you I know are both gamers, so nobody's a nonchalant. But like
Specialist.
your wife over here, I don't think she's like a diehard gamer or anything like that, is she?
She's a gamer, but I wouldn't say diehard. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's basically a
We're
casual
working on
gamer.
it.
So it's like,
We're
I
working
also
on
want
it.
to see people who play the casual gamer play something that maybe they would never even think of playing before.
Yep.
Get reactions from them. Maybe by playing some of these games, become a diehard gamer.
Yep.
So it's kind of like part of the fun of what we're doing with this channel and stuff like that. 'Cause we know a lot of people and a lot of people that are going to be like, hey, you want to come down and play some games with us? And they might be, well, I'm not into that stuff. That's kind of fun. Come on, join to see what it's like. And, you'll get to see reactions from these people from some of these games. We'll show them some of the good stuff, the weird stuff, the bad stuff, and that's part of the fun.
Yep.
And I want to say this. Those who have tried gaming before, like back in the 80s or back when it first came out and didn't like it because the graphics messed with their vision, try it now. I mean, I try to get my one girl cousin to try it again because when she started with her brother, she said she couldn't do it because it just gave her headaches. Well, now that the graphics are gotten a lot better since then, I don't think she'd have as many headaches because it's a lot better now because there is actual movies that have similar to graphics of how these games are now.
Yeah.
Well, I better
And she
keep her
can
away
s-
from the game that gives people seizures on.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that she could actually play the newer ones because, like I said, there is movies, especially kid movies, put that in quotes, that are made with the similar graphics, and she watches those movies with her kids, and she's fine. So I think
Would you
she'll
like
be
that with
able
an
to.
Atari game or Nintendo
They
game?
were
Or are
like-
you talking about like PlayStation era when they were kind of like
I'm talking like
ugly graphics?
I'm talking about in the. I know she did
Ugly
in
polygons,
the
anyway.
80s, late 80s, early 90s.
So that'd be like NES.
It was
That'd be like
something.
Super
It was
Nintendo
like the
days.
first. Like I said, that was like the first time I had played too, and she
Yeah.
tried it too, and she just instantly hated it because it messed with her.
Well, you said your first system was a PlayStation.
Well,
and
no, my own.
Okay.
Her-
My own.
yeah.
Her brother, my cousin, he had something. Like I said, I don't remember what it was. I just remember getting a controller and just playing.
It could have been
But
just that specific game too. It
I
doesn't
know
mean all
that's
games.
that's what I wondered too, but.
Like for instance, like my brother always complained there was a game on Genesis that gave him headaches playing too and stuff like that. But it doesn't mean all games were. It's just that one game.
Right.
Yeah.
So
It
he
could be-
avoided that one
Yeah,
game.
and I heard that there is a game that will give certain people seizures.
Yes, it actually was.
What-
It's actually hard to find game nowadays.
What? Can we announce this now, or do you want to announce this
Want me to
later?
tell you what it is?
Yes. 'Cause
A game called Rez on the PlayStation 2. It has
Rez?
very flashy lights
RZ.
and everything. And believe it or not, they actually had a sequel
I think
recently for the
played
for the
this.
VR helmet. I actually have
Yes,
a
where
copy.
you're like, is it where you're like a little guy kind of floating around and you have to
It's
shoot
just
at things?
weird.
Is
No,
it
it's like
that
a
one?
puzzle kind of game, and it's like, but it's like a 3D environment but it's all these high intensity lights and stuff like that. I honestly never got around to playing it, so I really don't have my personal experience about it. I've only
Okay.
seen a few videos on it, but just because I'm kind of one of those that looks like, oh, maybe I shouldn't toy with this, but at the same time, like I am curious. I personally have never had any issues with things affecting me, but if you have had issues with
thing-
lights and all affecting you, I would not recommend this game.
Right.
Yeah, and the only thing I've had a problem with is the virtual reality, which made me kind of upset because, I like video games and I really wanted to try it, but when I was only playing the games for maybe a half hour, and after that half hour, I couldn't, like, I took it off, and I was just like, my eyes couldn't adjust right, and me trying to stand, it was like, nope, because I almost fell, because it was like, I don't know, my vertigo or something was just completely off after that.
Well, like VR games is still pretty young too, because I think we talked about it's
Right.
because basically if you were to do this, like walking around, that would mess you up too.
Right.
Like me,
'Cause it's
I'll
not in your peripheral vision. Nothing's
yeah.
there. It's just
So
black.
it messes up with everything. So it can really mess it not only that, but it's like a lot of bombarding, colors and brightness and like that. Because I'll admit
in
myself,
your face.
yeah,
Intense.
I get migraines. So like sometimes if I get like a bright game, I can't. I just simply can't. Like I'll admit I've got way back in the day, I used to wear Gunner glasses because those are the ones that have like a yellow tint. It's supposed to be if
Yeah.
you have glare stuff like that. And I'd wear them, and yeah, they work. But then I realized one thing. Here's an honest to goodness solution to that: turn the brightness on your monitor down. The moment I did that, I brought from like 100 down to like 30 or 40. Never had a problem since. It's like if I stare at it, if I do like, one of the Extra Life streams, I'm on there for like 20, 25 hours. I'm staring at the screen on something. Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, I can't handle this anymore. Different game. And less flashing, maybe darker color, stuff like that. And it'll help. It's because, like, if you have light sensitivity or if you're prone to migraines, certain games are just off limits to you. That or you got to tone down the brightness. Another word for it to look for
or
is
maybe
gamma.
turn up the brightness, because that might be another problem too. Is it's too dark.
It might be.
And your eyes are straining
yeah.
to try to see things.
Usually, those only work on games that are dark to begin with,
True.
like Silent Hill or Resident
Yeah.
That's
Evil or
how you
something
see,
like that.
yeah.
Because
Right.
sometimes I'll even turn up the dark. Because man, I can't tell what's going on.
Yeah, I
They
hate
may
that.
want you to play it in the pitch black darkness, but if you can't see what's going on, you're going to be
It's
missing a
not
lot.
enjoyable, yeah, you
so
can't-
turn up the bright. That's
You
up.
wanna
That's up to you as the
see
player
everything.
to turn it up in the options.
Yeah.
And if most games nowadays give you that option, to adjust the brightness.
like when you first start it, they're like, okay, adjust it to where you like it for the.
Yep.
There's like a little image or something.
They give it
where
like a little thing like, here's this one symbol, here's another symbol. Make sure it's just bright enough so you can barely see this one symbol. I'm always like, tick, 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 tick.
Yeah, it's
Because
like
then you
I
got to take
always
into
up it.
consideration stuff like glare. If you got really bad glare, then you're going to want a brighter screen just to kind of compensate for that. So that's the thing to always look for also, since we're kind of talking about that. But yeah, tell your cousin that try newer games. If
try
anything,
it.
try...
But I
it could have
wanna
been
get our
older
kids into
TVs
video
too.
games, so so she'll have to watch.
Right.
Sorry, but I wanna.
Well, like, it might have been older TVs too. I know
Might
some
have been,
people
too.
when they went from to flat screen TVs, they had less issues with their eyes watching TV, movies, playing games like that. It actually helped them. It's just the way it was. It's because like the staticky of it look because the film kind of grain that messed with their eyes because there's like always something moving. It's like they just couldn't focus, something like that. So, yeah, games change. That's why a lot of like. The one thing I know a lot of people are like, oh, you got to deal with VR because that's going to be the way of things. VR is not going to be the way. No.
It's a
I-
gimmick.
It's going to be a gimmick.
pray
They
it's
will
not.
eventually make it better, so it'll take up your
That
entire
too.
vision, I think. But that's where I kind of think, what is it? What's the one where it's like the entire room is going to be like the play area? Like Microsoft is working on that.
Well, they're working on the one that's what is that called? It's the one that's like the Hollow Vision thing,
yeah,
or
it's
whatever.
Like, you basically turn your room to a hollow deck pretty
Yeah,
much.
Basically, like
you're
in
like
Star
wearing
Trek.
like Google
Yeah.
glasses kind of thing, and literally like on this table will be like a little Minecraft table
And
and
then
stuff
you
like
can,
that, and you basically just point and click
Yeah.
right on the table. I'm not kidding. That's what they're working on.
So they're finally doing this.
Yeah,
They're-
that's an actual
I've been
thing.
waiting for this for a while.
They're
I am
working
a
on it, but
Trekkie, and
there's
yes.
no idea when this thing's going to be hit the market.
Because then you got.
Because they're also working
controls
on their own VR helmet too. That's going to the Project Scorpio is supposed to support. But that's, again, way in the future. They're not even saying they're going to be releasing it this year.
Yeah.
Right.
It might not be till like next, because they're saying that they want to see what they could do with it for and refine, because they don't want to release it and be what PlayStation VR was, a lot of tech demos. They want real games with it. I mean, Resident Evil 7 is kind of like the first real game for the VR system right now.
Yeah.
Everything else is a bunch of tech demos, and that was my biggest complaint about the PlayStation VR. It looks great. It's awesome. It moves fluently and great, looks great, and for the price compared to the others, it's great for the casual player. But the games are all stupid short, with the exception of Resident Evil. I mean, I haven't played them all, but of the ones I have played, they all feel like just little tech demos. They're like,
Yeah,
you're
and
done with them
it's
real
like,
quick.
I need more. It's like, where's the rest? But yeah.
Right.
But again, the game system, they're just launch titles, and that's how I kind of look at it. I mean, some of the launch titles were even only $20 at launch, just because they knew it was so short, like Batman VR. Oh my! It's fun to dink around with the first time, but after you play it, you're like, there's
You're
no
like, I'm done.
replayability in it whatsoever. It's just one time, and that's it.
Right. Yeah, because the main thing, I remember the days when VR was still in its infancy, and they do things like, there's one is like a simulator for how to drive a car, and the whole thing is basically is a drunk driving simulator. So like the monitor, like you would not notice it because it's a gradual, like it would change. And I remember the one thing that was so stupid with it, it was literally one monitor here, two here, and then two over here. But the problem was, you naturally, if you're driving a car and you want to see further to your side, you will lean. But leaning in this doesn't do anything. So you literally be like at the stop sign, vroom, nope, vroom, nope, vroom, because you're looking at the one monitor and you're still like, okay, nope, vroom. So you can't literally lean and see what's down the side. And that was the whole thing. Everyone's like, oh, you messed up. It's like, I can't see. If you literally made it 360 degrees and I could simply look around for additional traffic and stuff like that, it would have been no problem. But that's what I mean. It's like, I think a lot of VR problems are going to be like lacking peripheral vision.
That's mine.
That will solve a lot of motion sickness right there. And just being able to make it a little bit more available, like wantingly available, because you brought up how like Resident Evil 7's the first game. They need to realize they can't do gimmicks. That's why it's like I want to check out
my personal opinion is, like, for instance, I think VR should be as a secondary mode in all games. Like, for instance, if you play, like, let's say you buy the newest Call of Duty. You don't have to use VCR. You just sit there and play it without, like you normally do with a controller. But if you happen to have a VR setting, you don't experience in VR, and you put it on, and the only difference is the same game, but the only difference is now you can do this number and look around, but you have the controller to move around and shoot and stuff like that. You basically just take away the right stick where you basically look around anymore. That now you just got the one stick to basically move the character forward, side to side, and stuff like that. But now you can turn your head, and then the character automatically turns.
Yep.
It's a different experience. Make it as a special mode in the game, but don't make it like, well, here's Call of Duty regular, here's Call of Duty VR, but they're not compatible. You basically have to play one or the other.
Two different games. You have to buy.
So now you gotta buy two games.
Yep.
What they did in Resident Evil VR is perfect. With Resident Evil 7, where it's like, here's the regular game. You can play it normally, but if you want to play VR, just hook on your VCR, put it on,
boom,
and you can play it in the VR world.
Yeah.
It's included on the disc. That is fine. That's what I want to see from VR. I just don't want to see it have to be like every game. You gotta be like, well, here's a VR version of it. Like here's a Final Fantasy, but it's a VR version. If you want to play a Final Fantasy, it comes with an old Final Fantasy 7 or with whatever the next Final Fantasy, the remake or whatever. But if they want to put a VR mode,
it's supposed to be next.
Supposed to be.
Supposed to be next.
But
we'll see.
Don't forget, they also said, well, if 15 doesn't sell well, we're not going to make it. You announced it! How do you announce something and then go, well, we're Squaresoft. Fuck you! How about that?
That's not nice, guys.
Oh
do you
my
want more
God.
money? Remake it. Because I hate to tell you this. If you don't remake it, I might just stop and just say, forget it.
I won't do any fucking business with Squaresoft unless I absolutely have to, like Dragon Quest VIII. Like when they remake it, that's one of my favorite games of all time.
well, the good news, Final Fantasy 15 was a hit.
It was, it was a hit,
Thank
yeah. But I mean, still, you can't do that. It's like it's basically blackmailing the people. You want Final Fantasy 7, you better pre-order 15, not buy it, pre-order it. And that's where the bullshit kind of comes in. I hate what
They don't
Squaresoft
need to do that kind of tactics,
I just want to say this real quick. If you guys remake FF7, can you make a special console for FF7?
Oh, you know they will.
They did it with 15, and they did it with 13 too. So I'm sure they will.
No. This is 7. This is like the Holy Grail
Hold her back.
from you.
Hold her back. Hold her back.
Serious-
Hold her back.
Seriously,
Hold her back.
remake,
Hold her back.
remake it and then have a special console
Get the Trent gun!
and controllers. My whole paycheck
They actually
will
look
go
like little
towards you.
chocobos.
Well, one chocobo, one Moogle.
There you go.
Oh my
Yes,
god.
perfect. So you have both. Oh my god.
And
You're
whenever you
welcome,
start-
Square Enix, for my ideas.
When you start up the
Hey, I'm
console,
a little chocobo idea.
Well, I came up with the
You're
Moogle.
okay.
And Cactor. We could have a Cactor.
and here's a good idea. You know, you can push the button, it turns on the console. How about you push the button, the moment the console turns on, it actually makes like a chocobo. Like, and the Moogle one can go kapoo.
It's
There you go.
sounds like
you
that.
have. How about this? They have 3 different consoles. There's the
Oh
chocobo
god, you're
version,
gonna make me go broke, aren't you?
the Moogle.
Controllers. Do controllers like
Well, you
that.
could
but
buy
have, like,
you
a
could buy
special-
one console and then have the controller sold separately. That's what a
Okay.
smart business would do. I don't know about SquareSoft because they're not very smart. They're not.
Well, yeah, they haven't released.
Remember,
that yet,
that's what
but
comes
it's
SquareSoft. They're not Square Enix. 'Cause when's the last time we've seen an Enix remake? We've seen God knows how many fucking Final Fantasy remakes. How many times have we seen? What was it? 4
Well, you know
remade.
You know that they, if it wasn't for Final Fantasy series, SquareSoft would have been. You realize that, right?
Oh,
you
that-
realize that. That was like the main reason. That's the main reason why their
That's why
company
it's
was
called
saved.
Final Fantasy, because they thought it was going to be their final
Yeah,
game.
they thought it was
Well, I
going
thought
to
it
be
was
their
because
final
the
one.
one guy who made Final Fantasy is if he did not make a successful game, he was going to have to go back to school. That's why it came out Final
I
Fantasy.
heard it was.
Squaresoft was
it
going under, and it
the-
was their last game to be made. It was pretty much make it or break it, so they called it Final Fantasy because they thought it was either going to make them money or they're going to shut down their
Done.
doors.
Yep.
Okay.
And so that's why it was called that. And it's been the Final Fantasy ever since. So
Well, yeah, but I mean, because I knock them, but here's the thing, right? To me, where it just makes me go, no shit, Sherlock. Where they tried doing stuff, and I like them being a publisher because that's how we got the new Tomb Raider. And I've never played myself, but I heard it's a great game. There's a lot of other games that they publish that they stamp on there, like I think Hitman is Square Enix. There's other ones that they did not develop; they just published, But then when they made Bravely Default, and they just go, wow, people like this game. It's like, you made a good JRPG. You're shocked at that. You went back to your roots where you were good at, and then you made a good game, and you're shocked at work. It's like, that's where I go, you're fucking stupid. How can you be like that? Be like, okay, that honestly be like Michael Jordan all of a sudden becoming younger and then realizing he goes back and goes, I'm good at basketball. Who'd have thunk it? It's like, no shit. Michael Jordan, okay, literally. It'd be like if a person was watching Michael Jordan leave basketball, then go to baseball, then he goes back to baseball. It's like, wow, he's still good at basketball. I didn't know that. I would have thought he would have been, all about baseball and he would have lost. So it's like, it's Michael fucking Jordan. It's like the same thing. It's Square fucking Soft. No shit. There's a reason why Chrono Trigger exists. It's Square Soft. They're
there's
good
a
at
series
JRPGs.
they need to bring back.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Remake that
Chrono
thing.
Cross too, because technically they are connected.
It would be a Chrono Cross, Chrono 3, whatever they'll want to call
Right.
it.
Yeah, because they
But-
made Chrono Crusade.
But
Yeah.
they need to go back to the roots.
That
and
wasn't the same thing, though, was it?
No,
That
it was.
an anime.
And they actually literally went the remake of Chrono Trigger when they added in the animated scenes, the cutscenes. They actually, in one of the endings, they purposely made it so they could connect Chrono Crusade. Because
really?
one of the characters in Chrono Trigger, he shows up as a little baby, and Luca finds him. He's like, "Here's a little time bomb. There's a little baby, and he's got blue hair or purple hair." I think blue because Luca's got purple hair. Yeah, and she raised him as her own. And the blue-haired kid is in Chrono Crusade.
Oh,
And that's because I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And I looked it up. So that was so they could tie in Chrono Trigger and Chrono Crusade because they are in the same universe. But then to me, they also shat the their own cereal because this is where I had to ask the story guy. I would love to find out this. You had a person. Actually, 3 people. You had 3 people in one kingdom. They literally had the power to end a I don't want to say dimensional, but he could fuck with time, apparently. Alien that was the size of Gamera, and they could kill him single-handedly. Even just 2 of them could. and yet 5 years after being king and queen, they lose the fucking kingdom. How? Because they show in one of the cutscenes right at the end, it's like Kingdom of not Zenobia. God, what was it?
I don't know.
What it was, what's like the year 1005 AD, and it's on fire and it's burning down. I'm thinking, okay, either someone pissed off Luca and she just went napalm on everything, or someone assassinated the characters. Because I'm sorry, you went from being able to kill this possibly time-altering, multi-dimensional alien that's, again, a huge monster. They kill it single-handedly, but they can't defend against normal things going on there 5 years later. How? Don't just show me kingdom's on fire. That's what a Chrono Crusade led into. I don't know. They want to make me happy and stop complaining and bitching about it so much. Remake Enix games. Here you go. Here's a great fucking idea. All the great Enix games in one giant library. Charge $70 for people would buy that. ActRaiser 2, Robot Chemic Drive, EVO, Search for Eden, Soul Blazer, Seven Saga. Fuck, the list goes on. You remake those, people buy them. People buy them.
Is there anything else we want to talk about as far as the main channel or anything like that, or are we pretty much should we start wrapping this up?
I think we've talked about plenty.
I think we've gone almost an hour here.
Oh yeah, easily. So
I don't know how long you're going to be keeping what's edited
fine.
or whatever.
But no, this is not only a way to kind of keep you up to date what's going on, but it's also just sort of like a talk show kind of thing. So it'd be like once a month. We're gonna shoot for. If it gets increased, it gets increased. But right now, I'd just say once a month will be plenty. And we're always gonna try to get some like Brandy, get other people involved that will be in videos. So look forward to that. But it's not like Brandy, you're banned from doing this ever again.
I don't think I'm going to be able to get rid of her now that she's been down here.
Good
I'll
luck.
just sneak in.
She'll be down here with a knife and be like, no, you're not making me leave. Like, we're not going to let you leave. Damn. No, but and I'm not saying like we couldn't have more people. It is just like the current setup right now. So a lot of things, that's the way it goes. This is just the current setup. Things will obviously get better. Everything like what you said, it's going to be a lot of trial and error. We're going to see what works, what doesn't work, what sticks, what flops on the floor. And more stuff will be changed. Some new things will be taken or tossed in. Some things that we tried were just maybe thrown completely out.
My main goal is let's just to have some fun with it.
Oh yeah,
all of us.
Oh yeah.
Whether hopefully you guys have fun with it too, but that's the main goal. We're just going to do stuff that we think is fun and have fun with reactions from people playing some of my collection and enjoying some of my collection. 'Cause I got a lot of stuff that most people don't even heard of, and that's kind of the fun. Is maybe you guys have seen other videos about it, but a lot of people in our own community have never even heard of some of these games, and I want people to experience that. And
well, the one thing I've always said about one thing about games, and this is, to me, I'll never not say it, games are meant to be fun. They're meant to be played, and they're meant to be enjoyed. Some, obviously, are going to be collector's things. It's like, if you get the original appearance of Superman, the very original one thing, you don't want people to be, like, thumbing through it. Some
Right.
things are kind of like, you can get a remake off that or a download of that and, enjoy it that way, but games are fun. They're meant to be enjoyed in one way or another, either to make you think, challenge you because they're a puzzle game, or make you enjoy a new story, or whatever. They're games. What do you do with games? You play them to have fun.
believe it or not, as a collector, I've actually bought in games that were sealed before. That was like older games, and I'll actually want to play them, and I'll break the seal, and I'll have another collector, a friend of mine, find out about it. Like, he'll be yelling and screaming at me, how dare I break the seal on it, because now there's one less sealed game of that classic game in the world and everything. And I'm like,
But
I wanted to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I've always said I've never been a sealed collector, but I do get games that I do get sealed sometimes that are like old, and I feel like almost a guilt to open them, because it's like, well, sometimes I'll have a second copy, like I'll find a sealed copy at a garage sale or something like that, and I already have an open copy, and I'll keep that on the shelf as like a collector's piece, just to show. But I'm always saying I'm a gamer first, a collector kind of second. But so I always, like I said, a lot of times will prefer an open copy when I look for classic stuff, because I still want to play it. I want to actually use it.
Right.
You know?
I'm with you, because if anything, if you're a collector, I have a little collection myself. I want to see if it works. And if anything, if it's a game I've never played, I want to see if it was a good game, if it's a bad game, if I would like it as a kid, if I like it now. It's a game. You can't put a game in my hands, and not go, you can't play it. Like, I'm gonna fucking play it. It's a game. Games are meant to be played and have fun.
And personally, one of my biggest beefs with the collector market is those guys who get the sealed in the case and have it appraised and everything like that, and then charge like 20 times the price of it just because they had it appraised and had it in a box that can never be opened again. I'm like,
Well,
I don't even get that. To me, that's even going a step further. Because to me, those are people who are buying stuff just to invest, and they want it to go up in value. That's how I look at that. Those are like. Now, I can understand certain aspect, like if you get like a very first issue of Batman or Superman, you want it sealed, and so nothing will touch it ever again.
Because you can get a remake.
I can kind of more understand that, because you're basically going to put it on a shelf and not touch it anyway. You can get a remake to enjoy and open. Well, a video game is kind of almost the same way, but I personally like, usually to me, when a sealed game is always a secondary thing. As something that's like, yeah, I love it. I found this at a garage sale sealed. This is awesome. I love having this. I put it on the shelf, but I have an open copy over here I've already played and stuff like that. And I usually, when I find one that's the first copy I have and it's sealed, that's like, now I got to find another copy of it open.
Or just find another one that isn't open and open one of them.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's just like I said. So it's, especially when I know it's a rare game, it's like I always have this guilt on me, like, I shouldn't open this. I'll have my other collector friends yell at me.
That always bugs me whenever there are people like that. It's like, oh, it's got to have this. Make sure it's like that. It's like, I don't care. It's not like, an empty case. That's all I care about. That's because I've run in those kind of people. It's like, is it this edition or that edition? Because I know there are different ones. It's like, sort of like, I get comic books too, and a lot of things the guy I buy my comic books with, Neil, he will be like, well, there's some people out there stickler for first editions and go, I don't care. I'm going to read it. I don't care if it's a 10th edition, if it's the same thing. You know what? The second one, maybe they caught a typo and they fix it so I can enjoy while I'm reading it. I don't collect comic books because I want them to collect dust in a, Mylar case. I get them so I can read them, so I can go, oh, this one's great here. You got to read that one. It's got such a great storyline.
Oh, trust me, I got some rare games in here. People go, why isn't that sealed in a plastic wrapper? And I want to actually be able to go, I want to play this.
Yeah.
That's just me. I actually know a collector who actually makes people wear white gloves, and I'm not kidding, before you touch anything and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm not that anal yet.
Yeah,
Although I will say, although there was a certain person that always says, I'm going to come in with jelly covered hands, then I'm going to say, let me see your hands first. I don't want to destroying something.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like I can't.
But I don't mind you coming in and just like, oh, what's this? And pulling out and look at it. As long as you're not going to throw it across the room or something and try to break it. You're responsible, but that's my only. But I'm not that anal yet. Not yet.
One day.
I haven't gone over the deep end yet.
You want to say anything? Do I need to hold you back from Square Soft again?
Yes, they were the ones I'm upset with as of earlier, like I said, because I've been waiting forever them to remake it in better graphics, and then they dangle in my face, and it's not released.
So far, I'll give them credit. They've been on a pretty good run, though. I mean, they did 15. They did Bravely Default, then Bravely the Default Second or whatever. And I've heard they're all...
Second?
Bravely
Second, that's it. Yeah, thank you. And I heard even that one was pretty good, and...
Yeah, the first one was good. I have that. I don't have the second one. I want the second one.
I kind of think a lot of developers do that, where they hit like this weird spot where they try and they fail, and the problem is they don't realize what failed, or maybe they're like, okay, that did fail, let's try something else, and they eventually go, okay, experimentation time is over. We need to go back. It's like we tried Coke Zero for long enough, or Coke Crystal. We need to go back to Coke. That kind of thing. Yeah,
it's like what exactly worked at the beginning, and what did we change that is now not working?
Yeah.
Go back.
Yeah.
But I don't have anything right now.
Okay.
I think that's pretty much it.
Okay. Well,
I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys will watch, and we're soon going to have stuff more about the game rooms, and you'll get to see more of this thing. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to see in this room, and one of these days we're gonna have a tour for you guys to show. I don't know when it'll be up. It'll be up sometime in the future. We're gonna have tons of stuff that we just think is fun and enjoyable, and we hope you enjoy it too. And unless anybody else has anything to say, I think we're done.
That's it. Well, we were the Unknown Gamers. Now you know a little bit more about us. See you next time.